A sustainability officer is an executive who monitors a company's impact on the environment and develops new policies that promote sustainability. When creating sustainable policies, sustainability officers can consider a company's current level of sustainability, their outlook on the future, and what steps they might take in order to reduce their environmental impact. So, what does a sustainability officer do, and what are the career requirements for a sustainability officer? Today's session of EDV TALKS will share the detailed job role of a sustainability officer. Hi, this is Shanoli Ray, and welcome to another session of EDV TALKS, a show about career and job prospects. Today we have with us a very talented, dynamic and young Mahasweta Chakrabarti, who will share detail about her job insight. Mahasweta is a budding sustainability professional and researcher with a master's in water policy and governance from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. Over the past 2 years, she has worked in international work environments in the non-profit and private sectors to expand clean energy access among smallholder farmers in South Asia. She has done extensive field work and primary and secondary research to understand the impact of renewable energy policies on farmers. She has reviewed various policies and given comments on the draft policy framework prepared by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. In 2020, she won the second prize from the Association for State Floodplain Managers, United States of America, for her breakthrough research on flood waste management. So let's welcome the very talented, dynamic and young Mahasweta Chakrabarti on today's episode of EDV TALKS. Okay, so as you know, today we have a very talented and young Mahasweta Chakrabarti in our show, EDV TALKS. Warm welcome, Mahasweta, for finding time to discuss about your professional insights into our show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, tell me about your educational background. How did you reach to this position gradually?
Yeah, okay. So I would like to start by saying thank you for this opportunity. And yeah, I did my master's in water policy and governance from Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai. It's a pioneering institute in social and environmental issues in the country. So there are very less institutes in India to deal about these issues. It's mostly done outside India. If you want to study on this, you have on the development sector as a whole, you have to go outside India and study. Otherwise, there are institutes which are not that that great or providing great opportunities. So I did my master's from 2018 to 2020. I graduated in the pandemic year, and then I joined the non-profit sector, and mostly I'm working like during my study period when I was doing my master's, and also interning with various international organizations. At that point of time, I did extensive field work in different states of India, mostly on various projects like on agriculture, water, sanitation, and hygiene, to understand how any project, how any scheme is implemented on ground. So that's how I started my career.
Okay, so now you are working as a researcher. Please tell us elaborately your present job roles and responsibilities, and what kind of work environment do you have?
Okay, so in my current role, actually, I'm working as a research officer, and also I am managing projects. So in my role, I do the research on renewable development projects. So mostly on like solar is increasing these days. So I'm trying to help this entire agriculture sector to shift from non-renewable energy like diesel dependence on diesel fuel to solar pump irrigation, and then there's solar pump milling, solar drying, then solar cold storage. So how we can bring that in India? In India, there are very ambitious targets of the government of India. So my work is researching on how we can make it more sustainable, more affordable, and reliable for the farmers to reduce the carbon footprint of the farmers, and also like increase its uptake among our farmers in the agricultural sector as a whole. So I do research as well as I manage projects from end to end, from the start of the project to the end of the projects to implementation of the project, and then how it is like how it is impacting the beneficiaries. Then in the research part, after the implementation, also I do like understand like some baseline and midline surveys in which I research to understand how what has been the impact, and with time I also I work like I review a lot of policies which are brought by the government. So on that I give some suggestions, and on the draft frameworks and how we can improve upon that, and how it can be more suitable for our Indian scenario.
Okay, that sounds quite interesting. So do you need to travel for your job?
So it's okay. The travel is occasionally. It depends upon your choice. If you want, you can have a completely work from home job. Like for me, I work completely remotely, but sometimes I do have to travel, like maybe once a month or maybe once in 2 months. So in last month, I went for a 10-day field trip to Bahraich in Uttar Pradesh. It's near Nepal, and it's also the worst district in India, and it's very poor. And I worked with farmers, women farmers, mostly uplifting women farmers and training them to become independent, economically independent, because it's a very patriarchal society out there. So yeah, I designed an entire project on that. Sometimes we need to go to the field and understand what's happening, because once we go to the field only, then we understand we get the primary data and do research on that. But it depends. If you want, you can also completely work from home. Like I have to just travel once or twice a month.
But while traveling, I think you need to travel to remote places also, depending on this.
So yes, yeah, I have to travel to very remote places. So we are given hotels, good hotels in which we stay in the district. Then from there, we are taken to we are given safe transportation, from which we go travel to villages, very remote villages. So also Bahraich is like not connected through trains. Like we had to reach to Lucknow by flight, and then it took 5 hours to reach Bahraich district, and it's very near to Nepal. It's just the border of Nepal, like 20 minutes from Nepal border. So yeah, we have to travel to very remote areas. So like I during my like graduate masters also, I went to Gujarat and Kutch. I stayed there for a long period of time. So yeah, I've worked in like 8 states and in remotest parts of the country, like where people are really poor, and it falls under the aspirational district program of government of India.
Okay, so I found that it's not an easy task actually. So what do you think the skills required to sustain in this profession? But the way you were describing that you need to travel to remote places and all, so it's not everybody's cup of tea, that I find out.
You're not audible actually.
Not audible.
I think the network, there was a network issue. Yeah, now it's better.
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, my question is, as you were describing about your job responsibilities and all, so I found that it's not an easy task because to travel to remote parts of India and then do the research work and all. So
yeah,
what kind of skills are required? What do you think? Because you are continuing in this profession quite some time now. So what do you think the skills are required?
Okay, skills. So actually, first of all, it's the passion to make an impact. For me, the nature of profession is more important than the volume of the remuneration. So I love working with the vulnerable people and making an impact on ground. Sometimes there are people who work on like numbers and without actually making an impact, without understanding what's their work doing at the end. But for me, it gives a very high job satisfaction to actually make a difference in the society, because sometimes what I have done, I have seen that that's happening. Like I've seen people benefiting from it, farmers earning a higher income, then reducing the total carbon footprint in the country. So all of this, when you see, you know at the end of the day that you're making a difference. So the passion is very important, the passion to work for the people, it's very important. Then also being empathetic in nature, then listening to the vulnerable communities, understanding what's happening. Other than that, you need to be very creative in your approach. Like we are facing a lot of issues in India since independence, but there has been, women is not empowered. So all of this issue you have to come up with a creative approach every single time. So you need to be do that. Then you have to be very structured in your approach. Other than that, in like actually joining in the development sector, for this joining into the development sectors, you can do a master's from institutes like Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, it's there in Hyderabad, Guwahati, and Durjapur also. And then you can also study from other institutes like Azim Premji, even IIT Bombay. They also have some courses where you can do your course so that you understand a little bit of what's happening, because there are many people who do not even know what's renewable energy sector. So yeah, you need to do that to understand, and also research a little bit, because I'm working on research. So you need to know how to do research, the quantitative research and qualitative research. So if you go through an academic course like that, you can understand what's happening.
Okay, now tell me, as you were talking about Tata Institute of Social Science, this is one of the premier institute in India. So how can one prepare oneself to get admitted into such kind of premier institute? Because you were among the few candidates who were got selected. So first of all, students should know, okay, how should they prepare to get selected in such kind of premier institutes.
Yeah, sure. So actually, for getting into Tata Institute of Social Sciences, you have to actually appear for an exam which is TISNET. So in that exam, like first of all, there's a written test which is done. It's 100 marks paper in which you have like a section on maths, like maths, logical reasoning, and also general knowledge. So your general knowledge needs to be very strong because that has 40 marks, and others are like 30 and 30. So mostly understanding, it's mostly like UPSC, so people prepare for UPSC, it's also very similar, and many of my friends and my batchmates were also doing UPSC and preparing for that. It was easy, a little easier for them. So you have to know about the like what's happening, the current affairs, read those well, and then also a little bit on the logical reasoning and maths. So after clearing that, there's a cutoff for different courses. So there are a wide variety of courses. There's course on public health, there's course on water policy, there's on urban policy, there's on epidemiology. There's so many courses that's offered in TIS Mumbai, and also other institutes in TIS on rural development. So we had friends who were doctors, who were engineers, who were chartered accountants, so from all sectors and all sectors. They usually came here and studied because they wanted to pursue in the development sectors. So after clearing this test net, its cutoff is very different for different courses. So after clearing that, then you have to go to Mumbai and then appear for first of all, there is a written test where you're given a case study and you have to solve that problem. And after that, there is one interview. It's a interview like with around 5 panelists who ask you various questions about your subject. So I took up water policy, so it was all on water issues like water conflicts that's happening in between India and Pakistan, then water conflicts on like Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, then water quality issues, then how to conserve wetlands, and some like why do you want to join this course, what's your passion behind it. So all of this is asked, and you have to thoroughly prepare like whatever subject you take up. Even if you take public health or urban policy or regulatory governance, all of this in your sector, you should know that very well and study it. It's fine if you can't answer all of the questions, but you have to know all of this before going and preparing for this.
Okay, and now let me know as you were also a kind of, I could say in the new generation who have started their career. So what is there in future in this career path? How would you develop yourself, or what is the future progression in your career?
Yeah, so actually like the social development sector in India and internationally, it's growing a lot. Previously, those who studied from TIS Mumbai, they usually used to go abroad because in India the opportunities were very less. But over the past few years, we can see the fundings have increased a lot. So you can work in CSRs and you can work in non-profits, NGOs, or you can work in private sectors as well. So there's consulting space also, like McKinsey and BCG. So all of this also you can apply. So there's this consulting you can do on social issues, and also you can work in government space nowadays. The government is moving from bureaucracy to, they are also hiring people like us. So many of my friends have also joined the government job. So this is growing, and I would like to see myself as a policy maker in the future, like after a few years of experience. But the starting is sometimes very difficult, because when you start off, you actually have to work for the people, for the grassroots, as I am currently working. So after that, the career progression is very high, and the salary and everything increases with time. But initial 2 to 3 years, you actually have to work for the society and make a difference, and then only you'll be able to make a mark in the sector.
Okay, so at initial stage, what kind of salary or structure or pay package one can expect? Because it's obvious that with experience it increases, but at initial stage, so what kind of salary package one expects?
So from TIS Mumbai, if you graduate and if you get a placement, then it's usually the lowest is 6 lakhs per annum. So which you can roughly say it's like 45 to 48,000 per month. That's a starting for 1 year to 2 years. It remains similar, but after that it grows. So starting is like 6 LPA mostly. A little lower also, maybe some people can get, but 6 LP is the lowest. But that's the mostly the thing that happens. Other than that, it can grow up to like 18 LP or 20 LP also. There's some years there are good placements, and their companies, CSRs, Vedanta and all, they are coming. So it's quite high for them, but the lowest is 6 LP.
Okay, it also depends some kind of from which institute you are passing out. That also affects in your salary structure, I think.
Yes, because otherwise, in this same sector, people coming from other institute, they do not get the same amount of payment as we do. So even if we work with non-profits, NGOs, the minimum they offer us is actually 45 to 50,000 with no work experience, because of because of the institute, and because we get 2 years of rigorous training, and it's not just classroom training. We also go and work with other organizations. Like we have winter stays in which we go and work in another state. Like we do internships in various premium places, and actually make a difference. So it's like studying in TIS is completely different. So that's why the salary scale is a little higher than others.
Okay. And finally, what do you want to say to the future aspirants of this career, those who want to join in this career?
Yeah, so I would like to say that the job satisfaction is very high. So if you join, you'll be very happy, because you will be actually be making a difference for the people. Because I remember I used to work with so many people, and so many poor people who, if you work in urban areas, if you're from an urban city like I am from Kolkata, I have never seen what problems there are in rural areas. But when I go, they actually can relate with me, and actually I can see what work I have done is actually making a difference in their life. So they are earning well, they are having a better livelihood. All of this actually you feel good about it, and more than the money, it's actually the job satisfaction, which is extremely high, and with time it increases. So yeah, that's what. And if you have the passion for it, then you join. Otherwise it might be a little difficult, that okay, maybe another friend engineer or any other friend is just sitting in the laptop, but you have to sometimes go to field. But the reward is very high from this kind of job.
Yeah, you get to get a lot of exploration I think, because previously you didn't have such kind of exposure. Now you are having. So that is
Yes.
the best part, I think.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Mahashita, for coming into the show, and we get to know a lot of insight from you. Thank you, and I think many students will be beneficial hearing about your professional experience and all. Thank you.
Also, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn if you require for any professional advice. I can be helpful in that case.
Okay, you just share me your LinkedIn profile. So I will share at the end of the video. I will share your LinkedIn profile to connect people with you. Okay. Sustainability is a popular and growing field that attempts to integrate social science, environmental science, and civil engineering to make the earth more sustainable. A career in sustainability can offer innovative ways to address the concern of ecological balance and the earth's sustainability. Let us know about some of the top social sciences universities in India where you can study master's, MPhil, or doctorate programs. Tata Institute of Social Sciences, Mumbai, IITs of Delhi, Mumbai, Kanpur, Kharagpur, Madras, NITs of Trichy, Patna, Silchar, Jamshedpur, Rourkela, Jadavpur University, Kolkata, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, Savitribai University, Pune, University of Delhi, Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi, University of Hyderabad, Dr. Vishwanath Karaj, MIT World Peace University, Pune, Gandhigram Rural Institute, Dindigul, Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of Information and Communication Technology, Gandhinagar. These are some of the universities offering higher education in social science. There are many different types of roles in sustainability sector. If you are seeking a career in sustainability, here are some popular sustainable career options to consider. Urban planner, environmental geologist, landscape architecture, environmental or sustainability consultant, ecologist, air quality engineer, sustainability engineer, environmental researcher or officer or policymaker, columnist or editor. While there are no specific certification requirements for sustainability officers, many decide to pursue certification to enhance their skills and expertise. One of the most common sources for certification for sustainability officers is the International Society of Sustainability Professionals, which offers 2 certifications in sustainability. Number 1, Sustainability Excellent Associate, SEA. This certification is for professionals who are new to sustainability. Number 2, Sustainability Excellent Professional, SEP. The SEP certification is an advanced credential for professionals with high levels of experience in sustainability. I hope today's episode of EDV TALKS is beneficial for the aspirants of sustainability officers. Stay tuned for the upcoming sessions where we will be throwing light on other professions. Do subscribe, share, and like our channel and click the bell icon. Thank you.